Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to another paper crafting evening. I hope you guys are doing okay today. Thank you for being here. Hello, Carrie and Rochelle and Rosie and Adrian. I am so glad you guys are here with me today. Um, so I am going to go around some of the news that we have as it has been the trend in the last, I don't know what, 6 months or what, or whatnot. There's a few things going on. And so I am just delighted to be able to share those news with you and hopefully create a beautiful card today. Okay, so I am going to start with today is, hi Alice, how are you? How's Soraya doing? So we have two new kits out and about. One is a scrapbooking kit, and the other one is kind of like pop-up cards. I honestly want to get both. I no secret, I love scrapbooking, so I really like that one. The colors I'm not totally in love with, but I just, we'll see. Now, the pop-up cards I'm definitely going to get because in spite of the fact that, hey, Jenny, good morning, how are you? In spite of the fact that I probably already have some cards for my nieces and nephews, I think those are going to be tremendously fun to give. So I have a niece that loves unicorns. She's 7, about to be 8, and she's in that, or 6, about to be 7. I don't know, guys. Sometimes time just flies and I just can't keep track. But she's in the unicorn phase and she will love that card, like absolutely. And then the other two nephews I have here in the States, they are both males. And so I think these bananas and the dogs, they're just going to be amazing. So I am really excited. Again, I probably will pick up this one pop-up Paul's kit. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? And we'll see about the scrapbooking one. And next, I want to remind you guys that this is the upcoming Paper Pumpkin Kit. If you're interested in more information about it, you can always send me an email to mariamariascraftingcorner.com. But here is a little QR code that you can use your phone and will take you directly to the Paper Pumpkin Kit web page, and you can read it there if you're interested. I honestly love my Paper Pumpkin Kit, and so um, I don't know. I do recommend it. Guys, please let me know if the volume is too high, please, or too low. I just feel that it keeps getting into the yellow area, telling me that it's too high. So if I just want to know if I need to um, lower down a little bit. And the next thing is there is, and Carrie, this is the sale that Rachel was talking about. There is a sale that starts today, and it's a buy one, get one 50% off. Anything that is sweets, sweet related. So it can be a whole sweet, it can be, you know, let's say the bundle from the sweet, it can be the paper from the sweet, and so forth. So as long as it belongs to a sweet, that's what you will get 50% off the one item. So of course, I mean, you will get 50% off the lowest of the items that you buy. So be mindful. If you're going to get, you know, let's say get several pieces or several products that are more or less the same price. So when it takes the 50% off, it's really worth it. And for those that are demonstrators, it includes the new incoming online exclusives that are ready today for pre-ordering. I was looking at them. I don't know why it is, but these online exclusives, I absolutely love most of them. And so if you are a demonstrator, I would, you know, kind of suggest that you go and check them out. Very, very beautiful options. To be honest, I was surprised because I had not like searched for them earlier. So I've not bought anything yet because, you know, but I am thinking of getting a couple of the sweets that they have. Oh, I want to say they have 3 sweets. Yeah, I think it's 3 sweets, that the brand new sweets. So if you are not a demonstrator, that's coming. They will be available in July. And there's 3 sweets that are coming. One of them I'm really in love with, florals. What a chocker. And the other one is also, it's more like, I think it has pears on it. Not my fave. I've always told you guys I'm not a like a fruit person, but I really like it. And you know what? I think I'm going to get it because I really like the idea of coloring the pear. It seems to be a bigger stamp, so I'm really interested in that. And then lastly, there is a Halloween suite. I have mentioned these in the past, guys. I really never sent a whole lot of Halloween cards or sent, and for the last probably 6 months or so, I am just not doing anything Halloween related, and it's kind of a sad moment because they do have that suite is so so cute, adorable. So I'm kind of like in the ways like temptation, get away from me, get away from me. But it's really, really cute. So if you celebrate Halloween, that is, I mean, I would totally recommend that one. Beautiful. And lastly, I want to remind you guys what's the name of this? Sorry, guys. Sometimes I forget words. The last chance was refreshed today, so it includes tons of new products today. I was looking around because, you know, it's me, and there were a few, like I said in the past, there's a few that I'm still debating if I want to get them or not. So, you know, totally worth it. Let me show you guys what we're going to be making today, and then we'll go to the crafting table. There it is. Okay, so we're going to be making these specific pop-up. Um, and I believe this is she's not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She is a French uh, crafter. And I will show you kind of like what she is making. It's a much bigger version. We're going to do a 6x6 version, which is more within the realm of cards, but I would say I do have the bigger measurements uh, translated to inches, and so you will be able, if you're interested, I can give you those as well. Okay, let's go to the crafting table. Haha, look at that. It transitions so smoothly. I'm always so happy when that happens. So same as it has happened in the past, guys, I've been doing a lot of things and using a lot of the things that I have. And I know you guys understand that. I mean, when you're a demonstrator, I think that in general, I guess what I'm trying to say is not, you don't have to be a like demonstrator that is demonstrating. Like, even if you're just a hobby demonstrator, you tend to accumulate a lot of things. And I just have decided that I need to use my stuff. And I know you know that. We are going to be using today a paper from the new catalog that is called Beautiful Gallery. I know that you've seen some of it. We've worked with it in the past. I think one card we made, and we're going to be making another card today with that paper, which to me it's probably the most beautiful paper um, from the new catalog. I am totally in love with it. It's just like this vintagey feel. It just hits my heart. So that's where we're going to be, the paper we're going to be using today, and what is kind of part of the inspiration. We are going to be using part of the suite. So this beautiful gallery is also a suite, and it brings, and I'm going to show you here, it has this embossing folder. It's not a 3D embossing folder. Hello, Anna, how are you? But it's called the Damask Design Embossing, and it's just really beautiful. I'll show you here in a minute um, how it looks. I really, really like it. But, you know, again, I just like that vintage feel very much. And so this is the embossing folder we're going to be using. And then I ended up mixing and matching a whole lot more than I really wanted, to be fully transparent. So I'm going to be using the Layers of Beauty. This has been one of my favorite stamps to color. And I have not colored in a little bit and decided that I wanted to do some coloring. And so I'm going to be using this. I have barely, which is very interesting, I have rarely ever used the masks. So I don't know why. I don't know if it is, oh, look at that. I don't know if it is that I feel that you can get a whole lot more just coloring, but of course it takes much more time, right, than using just the blending brushes. So, and maybe I'm just not really good at using the blending brushes. I don't know, guys, but I wanted to color. So we're going to be using this bundle because I did use the dies for it. And because of how I ended up conceiving the card, I decided I wanted to make it like thinking of you. And so I wanted to use the Faith collection. This is on sale right now. So you maybe want to go get it, because we're going to be using the cross. It's not an Easter card, guys. But I really, really like these Let Your Faith Be Bigger Than Your Fears. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. And I have to tell you guys that there is a song. I don't know if you've heard it. I don't even know because I'm really bad at names. But there is a song out there that's No Fear, I think. And it's just a beautiful song. It's super like movie. I don't know. I just love it. And so it kind of matches this sentiment, but again, I really like this sentiment. And then I really, you know me, I really wanted something on this would be in the inside, I want to say. So I wanted something in the outside, and so because I wanted that, I ended up settling with You're in My Prayers. Um, or Under His Wings. I guess I have not totally made my mind of what we're going to be using, but one of these two, because I really like again, having two sentiments, especially in these kind of cards that are pop-ups, right? And then finally, just because I did not have, so this does not have dies, and in these dies, there is, and I don't know what I did with them, but I was looking for some uh, more of a foliage stuff, and I don't know why when I take this out, I think I used this one maybe, or this one, and that was not enough. I just was not happy with that, and because of that, I ended up using some of the foliage that comes in the gallery blooms. This is the one that actually belongs to the suite, and that it has quite a bit of foliage, and I don't know if you can see it here, but it has quite a bit of them, and so that's what I'm using. So it was totally unintended. Really, at some point, I changed the kind of the concept of the card, and that's why I think we ended up with a few things. Obviously, you don't need all these things to make a beautiful card, but you know, it is kind of where we're at. There are a few things probably that we'll be using, but I wanna show you extra those, I mean, clarified. Same as always, guys, you will get a the PDF tutorial. It has all the measurements. I had to print it, guys, because I need it here to see what's happening, because I left my cheat sheet upstairs as I was typing yesterday, and so I just printed these for me. It includes a little bit of a template, but I would say it does not explain how to add everything to the mechanism. So please watch the video if you download these later on, so you can, you know, you can finish the card, I guess, and see how the mechanism is settled. Now, I am going to be using Secret Sea, which, by the way, is one of my favorite new colors. I just love this color. Actually, this card has two of the colors I like the most from the new release, or the new ink colors, and that's Cloud Cover and the Secret Sea. And as you guys can tell, this is a pretty dark blue, kind of grayish blue, and the Cloud Cover is kind of like a grayish light blue. Anyways, so because I no longer have no, I didn't even buy a 12 by 12 set of papers for these. I had to do what we've always done in the past, which is cutting one piece that is 6 inches and another one that is 6.5, and then score the 6.5 at ½ inch, and then glue this together. We've done this in the past several times. If you have any doubts about that process, let me know. You can shoot me an email and I can like send you to some of the other videos that actually have that process. I figure we could skip that step. You are going to need a magnet. Okay, let me rephrase that. You don't necessarily are going to need a magnet. You may use a magnet. You can use a belly band, you can use ribbon to attach. I am going to use these magnets. I have them linked down below, guys, but they are one of my favorite magnets. These are basic gray. I actually have to order more. They are basic gray and they are very thin, and I know we've shown you these, but it comes in two different sizes, so they are linked down below in case you are interested. I don't usually promote what I use, but those are kind of worth it. So I have them in here because if you've been here before, you know I will forget, and so I have them in here so I don't forget. So we're going to start with this piece, and I have my cheat sheet here. So this piece is it measures 3 inches by 6, and we are going to score at, oh, I see, I'm mistaken here. Haha. No, it's fine. Just kidding. We're going to score at ½ inch, and I'm going to do it on the other side so I don't have to remove that magnet. So we're going to score at ½ inch and at 3/4. And all we're creating is a little flap, and we are creating also some space for the card to grow. If you have been here before, guys, you know that I apply a lot of layers to my cards, and that makes them thick. So if you're not going to apply that many layers to your card, I would say do these an eighth. So score a half inch and 5/8. And that will change a little bit these dimensions, and we can run through them real quick as I am adding this. But that's my explanation of why it's a fourth of an inch and not less. Now I am going to bring the thick tear and tape. I know that Stampin' Up doesn't sell it, but it saves me some time when I am doing these cards live. And so I have it. I have my regular tear and tape, but I always have that one handy because it's really useful for these bigger cards. And let me tear off that. I probably shouldn't have torn off that quickly, but I'm going to cut the corners because we've talked about this in the past. It just really, really helps when you are there you go, when you are doing these kind of things. It just helps look more professional. And so what's going to happen is this flap is going to come in here, so we're going to use this flap to close the card. And I told you, I've shown you this in the past, I don't like flaps on the outside of the card. You can do whatever works best for you. I should have done this earlier, guys, but I just don't like them, honestly. I like them to be let me see, I like them to be covered, and otherwise I would have to put another piece in of card, or decorating in the back, and I'm not sure I want to do that with this paper because this paper is really beautiful. So as you can tell, I have attach the flap in here, and it's noticeable right now, but you can totally put something in and then it'll be fine. And now what we're going to do is we're going to attach this flap to our card base. And what I've been doing, guys, because it is me, again, I should not done this. I kind of got ahead of myself. So thank you, Anna, for reminding everybody. If you're liking what you're seeing, please give a thumbs up. I appreciate that, Anna. And hi, Anita, how are you doing? Okay, I went ahead of myself. Please run your bone fold before you take off the backing of the turn tape. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my grid paper, and this is where the grid paper is so useful, right? I am going to use my grid paper. I'm aligning these in both sides. I don't know if you can tell. I'm using this the top, and the lines on the top, I guess the grid on the top, to help me. And I am just kind of like putting these against it, and it will kind of like knock into it is not doing such a good knocking job because I should have completely kind of burnished this beforehand, but it is what it is. If it were, in other words, this one that I was able to burnish, when you have it like that, see, like there's like a stopping, and it just helps you feel more confident that it is right there where it needs to be. And all I am doing here now is really making sure that it is as well aligned as possible, and it seems like it is. I'm trying not to move anything. I'm not really pushing, I'm just making sure it is, and it's looking pretty good. So I am going to push there, and we're done. And so what we are going to do now, guys, is add these first magnet. And I love, the other thing I like about these, guys, is that it brings a, there you go, it brings a like a big, kind of like a how you call those? Well, it brings glue on it, and so this is going to close like this. And so I'm thinking that this is probably a good spot for it to close, and this is how this is going to work. That's why I have not glued this, because now what I'm going to do is actually let these see where it hits, right, and take the other backing, maybe eventually, guys. Sometimes it's just fighting me, especially when I don't have any nails. And now I'm just going to go ahead and push there, and now they will work perfectly. Okay, and I just, again, I love them. These are one of those things that I really, really recommend. If you don't have, or if you like magnets at all. Now I have already most of my layers set up just as usual, and let me bring, these are the inside layers. So this paper belongs to Florals in Bloom. It is a suite, one of the newer suites in the catalog, and okay, so I like the paper. I know, I think I've said this already. I like the paper, but I don't particularly love it. Hi, Carol. How are you? I'm not like crazy about it, but it does have a lot of really cool patterns to use separately. I guess a part of me likes to use paper together. So, and I think you probably have seen that. Most of the time, I tend to use what's in a suite or in a paper pack and try to combine those. I guess I'm less creative than some of my demonstrator, friends, that they just use a paper here, a paper there, and they mix and match. And I tend to stay within the paper pack, kind of. But in this case, I have decided that it just has so many patterns that I like, that I am probably going to use it. Oops, let's see. I'm probably going to use it that way. So just, letting you know, we are going to go ahead and add these. And of course, I am having a moment with this because why not? I promised that I was yesterday. I craft and craft and craft a lot, and I had no problems. But today, because I'm live, it is like, yay, we need to make this. So it's fine. So I'm going to bring these just as a reminder. Remember that there is a fourth of an inch here that is part of the flap, and that the goal is to help us with the thickness. So I'm just adding my piece in here straight as possible. It's decent enough. And now we're going to add the rest of the other panel. And let's go and see in here. Okay, so there you go. Very simple, because this is just going to be the backing. Remember the card I showed you earlier, and I want to be more of the wow in the panels that are going to be on top of this. So I wanted this muted. Now I'm going to add these. So let me go back here a little bit for the measurements, although like I mentioned, you will have those in the PDF tutorial. But these are 6 by 6. So the panels, the first layer is 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, and the second panel is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now I'm going to bring a panel here, and that's the paper that kind of inspired, hi Jill, the card. And this piece is, so the white is 2 1/8 by 5 7/8. So, and the inner layer will be 2 by 5 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and glue this in here. And that way this is covered, our magnet is covered, and it just looks so beautiful, right? Like, this paper is gorgeous. So remember I showed you the embossing folder. I usually, it's a funny thing, I like embossing folders a lot, and I like white on white, right? I do have to tell you, I love how it looks on white. It just looks beautiful. Probably one of my favorite things is embossed white cardstock. But because of the card, I was trying to decide, and so I was playing yesterday with it. So, oh, this is, again, guys, remember that I forget things. So this is so I don't forget that I want to add these beforehand. So this is the emboss. So I embossed the piece in white and use a Dover in Cloud Cover and in Secret Sea just around super, super softly. So that's why you see some of them are darker and some of them are lighter. And I just think it gives a really, really beautiful background. I'm absolutely in love with it. And then with the same dauber, I use both colors around the edges, and I am really pleased with how these ended up looking. Now, before I came up with this idea, I did play around with the brayer, and so what I did is using the brayer on the embossing folder. So here's the embossing folder, just in case. You probably are all aware of this, but I'm going to say it in case there's a newbie. Where it says Stampin' Up, guys, it is where is the front. So this, you know, when you open, this is going to be the front. And so all I did, guys, was just applying with the brayer cloud cover all around here, and then went ahead and embossed it. And I think this looks very, very beautiful too. Let me put it up close. It looks really, really gorgeous. And actually that cloud cover, again, I am in love with that color. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, soft, grayish, greenish, bluish. I don't know, guys. But I absolutely love it. And it just gives a really, really good feel of vintage, right? So I'm gonna save this piano, and I'm not going to use it today because I wanted some white in the front. But that, I just wanted to show you how this goes. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to bring the this is called it's called Fall Linen Ribbon. It's 3/8 of an inch, and this is all in colors. Oh, Carol, I'm gonna stop because Carol is saying that she was watching a demo from UK, Jill Lancet, and she gave you props for your double diamond card. Oh, that is so cool. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know, Carol. I would probably not seen that because I am always so, you know, kind of distracted. Hey, Miss Kiwi, how are you? Kiwi says she's late, but she has a hall pass, so there's no problem. Okay, so going back to the ribbon, this is the ribbon, and you will find it in every ink color. I think I bought these and the cloud cover, of course. Here's the cloud cover. Isn't that gorgeous? And the strawberry, I forget the name of that, guys. Don't kill me, please. Strawberry slush. I have not used that color yet, which is a very pretty color. I will buy the others later on, guys. I do have to be mindful sometimes of how to spend the money. Oh, actually, I did buy the Timid Tiger. Is this the Timid Tiger? Oh no, I think this is the peach pie. Just confused in the colors there. That's probably why I didn't get them, because I have a yellow one that I've not used, and I have that kind of like orangey that I have not used, and so, you know, kind of saving some money. So again, now I am going to put this not in the middle but a little lower, and I'm going to show you why up close here. If you see, like when I was going with the dauber, I probably went a little harder on both of these sides, and to me it's pretty notorious. And I'll show you here where it's going to go. So I think that this will be enough to kind of create a distraction, and that's how I'm going to kind of cover that mistake. So I'm going to bring my tear and tape, which, you know, okay. And before I make anything, I really want to cover that, guys. I was not very pleased about it, so I'm just going to go ahead and at least make sure that one side is correct, and then we'll figure the other side. And I know this is a big piece. That's my fault. I don't know who else, if this happens to you, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just totally okay, and I cut this piece and it's smaller. And I so found out that I rather than just cut a bigger piece if needed than a shorter piece. It's in the end, I think it's less waste because in the end, you use at least one piece that is good enough. So, okay, so let me go back in here. Now making sure that I am envisioning this. This is totally eyeballing this. But I think we are going to do a good job with that. And whoops, there it goes. Let's go ahead and adhere these. I'm just kind of like putting it there to make sure it's straight. It is straight enough for my, I'm not very strict when it comes to certain things, but I'm going to cut that last piece there. We don't need that big. And this is what's going to come here in the front. We'll decorate the front here in a little bit. We don't need to decorate it right now, but I did want to use, okay, I did want to at least add these because later on, like I mentioned, the card will grow or get thicker, and it just makes it a little harder for me to, let me open this real well, to place the layers. And so I feel that, I might as well do it right now. Okay, and the last piece that we're going to use in here is another panel, and I've been debating about which one I want, but I think I want back this one because I did color, remember I did color the, why do I always forget its name if I like it, Layers of Beauty. And so I did color it, and I figured the flowers here and flowers here was just going to be too busy. So in spite of the fact that I really like the paper, we are going to just add this same piece, which belongs against to Florals in Bloom. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so this is the card base. We're done with that piece. Let me remove all my washi tapes from everywhere for whatever reason. And we have a few. Let's start working with our mechanism. So I have 2 of them already done. We're going to work with 2 pieces. So you're going to need 2 pieces of 1 3/8 by 5, and these are 2.5 by 2. And we're going to go ahead and bring our trimmer. And I know it's dark. It is going to be hard to utilize, or to see what I'm doing. But if it's needed, we can go ahead towards the end of the video and kind of do it in white if you need. So very straightforward. We're going to place this vertically, and we're going to align at 5 8 inches or 3/4, whatever it is. So I'm going to go ahead and align it here at 3/4, and I'm going to hold that as best as I can, and it moved, of course. Haha, there it goes. And we're going to score. Okay. And so it's hard to see, but I'm going to bring it up here so you can tell we have, this is a 3/4 size and this is 5/8. It's hard to see because there's just an 1/8 difference, right? And so they're pretty similar in like in measurement. In size is what word I was looking for. So let me do this and cover this so my glue doesn't get all dry. And before I forget, I want to show you something, guys. I found, and these are the things that are very useful for me that I think you guys need to know. So I got these at scrapbook.com, but I think Simon Says Stamp has them, and it's like 8 trillion of those pins, and I just love them because they're so long. And there's like, I don't know, there's like 10 of them, and I am very excited I found these because odds of me losing them are high, right? Okay, sorry about that. That was an announcement just because I think it's really useful. So we are going to go ahead now, and for whatever reason, it's worked best this way for me, but it's the same, there's sometimes that going in math works both ways. This is one of those times that is going to work. So I no longer have white from a white color pencil from our colors. And I would say that this is what I got. They're getting a little shorter. So bottom line, we need to go to 3/4 and 1.5. So those are the places we're going to stop. I am starting at 1.5 because for whatever reason it's simpler. And all I'm going to do is a little marking here. And I'm using white so you guys can see what I'm doing. So that's a little mark there at 1.5. I'm going to go back to 1 3/4. And I'm going to make the same little mark but on the score line. So let me do this in here. Well, I didn't have to make this big, but let me erase that real quick. Okay, so here it goes. Let me bring this up close. So you have 1.5 and 3/4. That is we're going to make the little marks. Okay, now we are going to align these marks here in the, in our trimmer. If you have one of those scoring buddies or however they're called, they're probably easier. I just don't have any, so it is what it is. And we're going to align those two white marks and we're going to score between them. Okay, so from the top to the score line, that's the first score line mark. And the next, and I just realized this, you can make, so if you align these again at one end, it just hit me, guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't do this when I just realized it. So we're going to mark also here at the bottom. So bottom line, at the 1.5 inch mark, you're going to mark at the top and at the bottom. And what we're going to do now is we're going to adhere, not adhere, I'm sorry, to align the corner with the two white dots, the two marks we made. And I'm going to bring this closer to me, guys, because I can't see if this is kind of straight. It seems like it's straight enough. Sorry, guys, but it kind of happens sometimes. Okay, so as best as we can, we are aligning the dots with the corner. I am bringing my scoring blade on this side so I don't like squish the corner, and I'm just going to go ahead and score all the way. So let me bring this back up here so you can see what I did. So from the corner all the way to that point, which was the 1.5 inch. It just hit me, guys. Sometimes I'm slow. And the next step is we're going to cut just this piece. Okay, and that is the template, and let me show you, that you're going to get in the tutorial, so you know exactly where you have to cut. So we're going to go ahead and cut that real quick. Okay, and you're going to need 2 pieces of this. So I already have my other piece ready, and we are going to bring this one and score this one. Hi Renee, how are you? So I'm done with the scoring with the trimmer. So this one, and remember everything is going to be in the tutorial. We're going to put these horizontally, and we're going to score at 5/8. Let me see. Do I have that right? Yeah. So 5/8, I was not mistaken. 1 3/8 and 2 1/8. And we are going to have, 2 pieces. These two flaps, these two in the end are flaps that we're going to use to glue. It doesn't really matter that one is bigger than the other, honestly. The important measurement is the one in here, and that needs to be 3/4, which is where those measurements are. And now we're going to bring and fold these. All these are going to go mountain. Let's see. Oops. And let me bring the other one. This one we're also going to fold mountain. And if it doesn't work, I'll show you what I mean, because one of these goes to the other. So let's see. This one is going to go like this, and I already decorated that. And this one is going to go like this. So just place them because that's how they're going to go. So you know it needs to go this way. So once you place them together, it's easy to see where you have to, how you have to fold it. So as long as you have one defined, the other one will follow, right? So let's go ahead and bring our card now. Now, I do have this piece. These measures, let's see, this one is 5/8, and I really just have a big piece, guys, that here ready, and it's just a big piece, and I think this measures probably like 5 inches or something. We're going to cut these for the other one, and I even have also a little square that we're going to cut later on. So all I'm saying is that's decorations. You don't need to decorate it. I think it needs it, quite frankly. You'll see what I mean when we have the card ready. It does need some because it's very visible. I think it's also partially very visible because the I made some variations, and I think that that's where it kind of, you can see a little bit more these pieces. I forgot one thing. When I was describing these, I got distracted probably. Let me bring this one. Okay, so what we did, guys, is remember when you are going to put this to mark, so all these marks have to be done on the bigger side, on the 3/4 of an inch side. It is included in the directions, in the instructions, but I forgot to mention it here. So when you put these horizontal against the trimmer, it has to be the wider side against the trimmers. That's where you're going to make these two marks. Okay, and I'm sorry about that. Completely get distracted. Okay, so what's going to happen is this beautiful piece is going to go in here, and let me see if I made a, I don't think I made a note of where it went. um so hey, I'm gonna show you, I guess. No, I like to show you things at the end for whatever reason, but I did use painted lavender. So let me see here real quick, guys. It's like 2 1/4, it seems like. Okay, so from the bottom, guys, to the top, there we go. Yeah, from the bottom to up here, I'm gonna mark there at 2 1/4, right there in the middle. And I'm actually going to use my black, although it's going to be hard to see, but I'm going to sort of see good enough. And so here's the 2 1/4, and I'm just going to make a little nudge in there. It's barely visible. I know you're not seeing. I'm making sure I'm making it in the right place. And this is what happens. I'll show you later in the other card. So I actually had to make two different cards because when I translated all, or try to accommodate all the measurements to fit in these 6x6 version, I made a mistake. I didn't think about some of the things of the mechanism, and so I needed to make a whole new practice the measurement. So anyways, so here's my little mark. I know you can barely see, but that where that mark is where the point of our triangle is going to go. So it's going to go right there. And what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to add, and again, I'm sorry I'm using this one. I do like my regular tear and tape, but I just feel that it's much easier when you have these already because it's very big. And I am going to bring, guys, in here, actually, you guys are probably going to laugh. So how often do I want to use this? And it comes with everything, and then it doesn't work often enough, right? So let me see. I'm gonna add the two pieces in here and we'll cut them because I really want these to be with a lot of adhesive. Is in the end, guys, it was my experience, and we're gonna cut them. Sorry guys, let me finish this and I'll explain why I am doing this. So it was my experience, guys, that this side needs quite a bit of glue. And actually glue didn't work very well when I was doing the other version, and that's why I'm using that much on it. Kiwi, you're so funny. So yes, so they're talking about the DSP. I'm gonna make a little break. So this one, that gorgeous one, is from Beautiful Gallery, because by the way, my favorite. And this one belongs to Floral Blooms, which by the way, I had mentioned I didn't love it altogether, but it has some beautiful patterns, and it has this beautiful pattern that really goes well with these with this paper, with, you know, this pattern is what I'm thinking. Hey Ida, how are you? Okay, so now we have the tear and tape here and the tear and tape here pretty well covered. And we're going to go back in here. Here's my little dot, again, very hard to see. And all you're going to do is bring that, what's it called, the point of the triangle right there. The point of the triangle needs to be in the score line. So make sure that it's in the score line. I think that's what happened in the other one, and I'll show you. It has to be in the score line, otherwise it'll move and move, and it works well, but it does give some grief. So all I'm gonna do now, guys, I'm gonna remove these. Oops, maybe. And I'm not gluing. See, I'm just holding it as best as I can. I'm bringing my actually, let me do this, making sure that because you know I can't see really well, but I'm making sure that I am aligning that point towards in the middle of my score line, the score line in the card base. And now I am trying to make sure as possible that this is straight, and that is not right there. I think we got it. Okay, seems to be straight, which is one important piece, and it seems to be right there in the score line. Yeah. Phew. Okay, now all we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to, okay, two things. I'm going to put this one, I'm just making sure. No, it seems to be working well. So in the past, even when I had do this and put it very well, guys, sometimes like this edge, it was kind of a little bit above or beyond the middle score line, and so I just trimmed, I mean, maybe a 16th on it. It's not happening in here because I wanted to show you that, so it's not happening in here, but I'm just saying if it happens, you can trim it. And so I'm just holding this right there and close it, and that's how the mechanism, and see what I'm saying, it does struggle. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, it was kind of like a little bit not well, I want to say aligned, but what I think happens, guys, is that this is not perfect. Is, you know, whole and behold, it's not perfect because we're not perfect. And so because it's not perfect, when you close it, it does not close perfectly. So all I've done is kind of force a little bit. So I push all the way through, and it just helps. So to make it, okay, so that's our first piece. And now we're going to go ahead and decorate these pieces. Remember, this piece is going to go like this. Okay, but we're going to decorate it first, and then we're going to add it to our card base. So like I mentioned, I made sure that I was, you know, where it was, sorry guys, where it was that it goes, so I can obviously place the decoration in the right place. And I'm making sure I have this correctly. Okay guys, I'm just gonna get back. think this goes like this. So I'm going to go back and fold backwards. I'm following my instructions here. Yeah, so I actually was right the first time when I was looking, and I'll explain this here in a minute. We're going to go ahead and decorate this first, and then we'll talk about what just happened. So let me put that there. So like I showed you earlier, guys, I already have a little piece that was dry embossed, and I used the Dovers in both colors, the cloud cover and the secret sea. This is a piece that measures I'm pretty sure it measures 5/8 by 4/7/8, and all I'm going to do here, guys, and I know it's hard to see, but I'll show you because you guys know how much I struggle with my triangles. I have my line there, so I'm just going to cut in there and just kind of eyeball where this is at. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And I can barely see where I cut, guys. There's that. There it goes. So let's see if this worked. Ah, it worked. Here between you and me. Let's add these to our decoration. Oh, there you go. A while back, I saw, I think it was Adrian who was asking if I have these, the pins in a link. I don't have a link of mine, but I can totally send you the link in a little bit when I am done, so you can have it. And this is let's see, this is a 1 by 1 inch oops, little square, and I am bringing just the leftovers of my secret sea. I don't want to go too crazy in here. Really, I mean, it's noticeable, but I don't want to, you know, have to bring the inks yet. This one has a little bit more ink, as you can tell. So we're going to leave it with most cloud cover. And this, it's going to fit like here, like that. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, guys. Like I said in the past, I really, really am bad when it comes to triangles. So I gave up in trying to like make it measurable and easy to explain. I am just using a pen, a pencil, and make a mark and cut. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut like this, guys. Wish me luck. If it doesn't work, we have the other side. So that's the good news, and it did work. So that, again, good news, guys, good news, we made it. Okay, so we're going to add these, and that way these looks beautiful. Okay, now the next step, now that we have that decorated, let me plug in these so it doesn't get dry. So this is the direction of the card. Bottom line, this is how it's going to go. We're going to turn this around, and we're going to do the exact same thing we did in here, right? So let me bring first my bone folder, so I kind of like go through that. Then my big piece of tear and tape. That was quite big, I guess. And let's see. I'm just wondering if it's going to work. And I think it's going to work. So I'm going to use this same piece that I just cut and bring this big piece in here, and it's almost covered. All we need to cut is a tiny piece in here. Okay, so that way, again, our piece has quite a bit of adhesive to it. And what we're going to do, so we're going to, it's the same concept. So we turn it around. The point of the triangle needs to look towards the edge. And so that is why we need to turn it around. It's easier, I guess. The other thing that we need to do is like leave in here, I would say 1/8 of an inch, or maybe 1/8, maybe not a quarter. Just leave a good amount of space, that so that this is not like one on top of the other. So there's got to be some separation between the two, I guess. And again, our point needs to be in the middle of the score line. So I'm going to go ahead, and so I can already tell this is going to give us some problem there. So I'm bringing this closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. There is about 1/8 of an inch. I can see the point of my triangle there, a line in the middle of the score line. There we go. And so let's go ahead and take these. Oops, that's my pen, not my take your pick. And we're going to do the, again, I'm trying to hold this so there it doesn't get glued. It's much easier to see the point of the triangle without the flap. So I'm just putting the flap in there, making sure there's that, what do we say, 1/8 of an inch, kind of in between those two. And then I'm really making sure that that point is in the middle of the triangle, of the score line. And now I'm making sure before I glue this that this is actually straight. And I hope I did that okay, just like we did before, guys. We're going to extend this, and this is, see, this is one where it happened. Like you can tell there that it does not, it's a little bit off. So I am going to just take a tiny bit, guys, off here. Let me see, right there. So just, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, it's not even a 16, guys. It's just a tiny bit that I'm cutting. So these is not in the way when this closes. Otherwise, it's going to, you know, interfere in the mechanism. And let's bring my take your pick. And we'll take that off. And we'll just close this. Okay? And there you go. That's the mechanism. This is actually working much better than the other one. Okay, so I am just going to push this a little bit so it really gets glued, because the other one, I really struggle with it. In the meantime, let me bring the pieces we're going to use now. Oh, no, my mistake. We still have areas to do. So I have one already with the tear and tape paper. And so all we're going to do, guys, is we are going to add these two flaps, one to the top of the mechanism, of this mechanism. So all the way, so I'm just folding this flap, right? I am not pushing, but I'm just like finding more or less the middle of these, and it's totally against the edge. So I'm going through my, I'm going with my finger against it, and I can feel it's right there. Okay, very, very simple. And now we're going to take off these, and this what I would do. This is one of the reasons why I like that other one that's thicker. And all we're going to do is just fold these just right there where it's at and glue. Not much, but we are creating now kind of like a little I forget the name of it, but we're creating that. So let's go ahead and add our pieces in here. And we're going to add, I mean, since I have this here, I'm going to use it. But again, you can use the other one that is just a little bit easier to use. And we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to bring this one here. And let's see. Take the backing off. We're going to fold it and kind of go back in here like this. And just like we did before, totally at the edge, and just making sure that it's right there and the edge, more or less at the center of the piece. And now we're going to take the other two backings and add these. It seems like this is working well. We'll see how it works later when it actually has the pieces. Okay, there we go. So that's this. I'm just going to make sure it all closes. It closes. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so this is the mechanism of the card. It's not really complicated, but let's bring all the pieces that I have extra here. So this is the other piece. So this is just making the most out of this gorgeous, gorgeous paper. And this piece is going to go here. And of course, it's going to go on the other side. So it's not, you know, we have something that breaks that. There you go. Whoops, I'm just making sure this is working, guys, because like I mentioned, okay, so this is going to go there, and this one, which is, you know, let's see, the secret C panel is 4 by 5, so really easy measurement, and this one has 2 layers. I'm just going to keep that same theme of white, and this is the one that's going to go here. Okay, so before we decorate this, the way to do this is I'm going to bring this up here, guys. The main concern is not, for these, because this is moving, right? Is for these not to go off the card, of course. And so the easiest way that I found out is to kind of like right there where it's closed. You see where it's closed, almost closed? Like I know there it's working, right? Right there. I can tell that it is not getting bigger or smaller. I mean, not going off the sides is what I'm trying to say, not bigger and smaller. And so I am bringing, again, our big piece of this, and this is just to speed up the video, guys. And we're going to turn this off. I'm making sure that everything else is like well glued to the paper. So let me bring this one here. I'm just trying to make sure that this is well adhere. And here it goes. So I'm not pushing these. I'm actually trying to close these. And what I am doing now, guys, because now that it's attaching here, looking at where this is at with my finger, and so that way I know that that's the place. You see what I'm saying? Like all I'm doing is holding in here, so I know that that's where this needs to go, and so I can't just move this right here. Nope, it has to be higher up, guys, and I'm sorry, this is a little bit on the messier side. I think there is. I think that's good enough. Okay. Sorry, but this takes a little bit of time, and that way you're making sure that it's not going to go over. And that's how that one is going to look. And we're going to do the exact same thing in this one, and we're going to turn around because it's in this edge that this is going to go over, right? If it's going to go over, it's going to go over this edge. And it's just the same concept. Let's bring another piece of tear and tape. And we'll take that off. This is a little bit harder because we already have a panel on the other side. But as long as it, you know, we just keep these not totally against the mechanism. So again, I'm just closing these and putting these right there, right there. It's not glued, not adhered, it's very far away from it. But I need to make sure that this is not popping up when it is there. And the other thing now I need to make sure is that it's straight. So 2 little things I need to make sure. There it goes. So you close it, and then you can put it there. And let's hope. Okay, and that's the mechanism. So I'm going to turn back because there it goes. So it's really cool, right? So one goes up and the other one goes down. And it's maintained pop top. And so let's go ahead and bring what I have envisioned for this. So for this decoration, oh, let's do some stamping before we move forward. Some stamping sounds like I'm going to break a lot. I have my Misty here. Sorry about the glare. Let me move that there. And I have both You're in My Prayers and Let Your Faith Be Stronger Than the Fear. I told you guys I really love those two. I am going to go with the Secret Sea, mainly because I like the darker against, there's a lot of patterns in there. So I think the darker is going to look better. And I am using, guys, I've used these dies over and over and over again. This is the stylish dies. And I know, trust me, I know that we have two different, how is it called? Two different types of stamps. Bottom line, we have the thicker one and the other one. So I'm going to stamp one first. I just didn't want to work hard. and, and then we're going to stamp that. We're going to clean it, remove it, and put it somewhere safe, which is right there. I have a little thing there with everything. And now we're going to bring the other one, and we're going to ink that one well. And let's go ahead and I always do this, guys. I know it's not very elegant, but since I use all the time, most of the time I use long sleeves, and I use just a sleeve. It helps me slide. And there you go. And I'm going to clean these so it's not dirty. And let's put that back in there. And now we have these two sentiments. So there you go. This is the stylish shapes. I believe these are on sale, guys. I am not 100% sure, but I think they are on sale. So I think I'm going to put the You're in My Prayers in the front. So I'm going to put this on the side. Let's bring this back in here. And we'll figure out where we want that one. So here's what I envisioned initially. Let's see. So all these, let me put that. All these are dies, just greenery dies. And I did have, so this is the cross. This is from the Faith collection, which I think was added today to the Last Chance. Don't quote me, it may not be. So I want, and we did something similar like that card we did for Easter that was so beautiful. So I cut, and I am actually cutting, this actually is from the paper, from the beautiful gallery paper. And so I want just like a corner decorated and the cross at the top. So let's move this a tiny bit there. So I think I want this one here, so we can add some of the Secret Sea, and it has just a little bit of, I cut a bit of both, some Secret Sea, some cloud cover. Well, this is DSP really, but technically cloud cover, and I want the cross kind of like there. And don't quote me, but I just love this cross. I can't help it, guys. It's so beautiful. And so I just want this one kind of like they're grounding the cross. It's not, necessarily grounding, but and as you guys can tell, I cut a lot of them, so it's kind of my thing. I love cutting and cutting, and then I just, the good news is that at some point I just have a ton of them, and I'm thinking I may want this one there. Let's see how we decorate this. So maybe this more to the center, and then we can add this one right there. And we'll bring this one kind of like on top of that one. So there's like kind of contrast of the colors. The cross is going to go right there, and then we're going to bring this one like that, grounding, something like that. Simple but beautiful. And we can add and take, as you can see, like again, I have a ton of them, so we can add or take. The main piece, let me remove this. The main piece keeps being this one because it's a little bit bigger. And so before I made any craziness, I'm going to put that away because it's scary. Okay, let's go ahead and add glue to this. I'm adding glue, but not tons of glue because I want to be able to tuck things underneath. And so, and I'm moving that a little bit towards one edge, towards the middle is what I meant to say. Okay. And so I want this one here again. I want a lot of the blue because that one is in the cloud cover color, and I feel that it needs just a little bit of kind of like contrasting colors. So I'm moving these a little bit lower than I initially thought. And let's bring this one here. I'm adding just little dots all around, guys. And you know, we're going to put this one here. There's another super cool thing about this one that I didn't show you. Let me see, where's my take your pick, but I'm going to show you right now. Like this one actually has little pieces that you can put up. Do you see that one? They are, so you can actually tuck things under there. That's pretty cool. And I'm going to bring this one like right there. And I'm actually going to utilize that. I think I like that there. Again, I'm just using little dots. Thank you, Ida. Yes, please don't forget to share, subscribe, and give it a thumbs up if you want. If you like what you're viewing, it's not something you have to do. And let me bring the cross. So let's call it the piece of resistance, right? That one is going to go in here. So I think I want this one right there. And I want that one like that. Okay. I don't even remember if I actually put glue on that one. Sometimes, guys. Sometimes. Did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. That needs to go straight. I think it seems like it needs a little bit more glue, so I'm just going to like put a blob of glue there on the top. And then we're going to bring this one here. One of the dogs are like really upset at me because I closed the door and she was not inside. She does that. She's like, oh, I'm not going to go. And then she's like, I really want to go. I really want to be there. And so anyways, we're going to bring this one here. Ah, don't break it, Maria. Okay, sometimes I'm so funny. Like, that's why you have to take your pick, right? Okay, something like that. This is still not totally closed. I mean, glued is what I mean to say. There you go. There it goes. It just looks so pretty. These colors are just so pretty. And so my thought process is I can either put this one here and kind of like close the whole pot, or put it here. What do you guys think? Well, I try to move this cross a tiny bit, not that way. There you go. What do you think? So we can put the sentiment either right there in the middle or in the lower, or we can put the sentiment here and leave this piano on its own just because it's so beautiful, right? And this can, and I really like that because it kind of gives it some grounding. That's a word that I guess I'm playing with nowadays. What do you guys think? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to be able to answer. I know that when I'm live, I'm a little bit ahead. So it's either that. Let me put this up here so you guys can see how beautiful it looks up close. I think the cross is it cricket? I can't see. No, it's decent. What do you guys think? So Carrie is saying she likes it by the cross. I think I agree because it kind of helps ground this a little bit, right? So let's go ahead and do it with that. And quite honestly, that way you can also display this beautiful, beautiful paper just like that, right? So I'm just centering right there. I'm putting it as low or as high, but I'm keeping the bottom of that leaf greenery covered. And I'm centering these as best as I can, totally eyeballing. And I'm just gonna close this, guys, and push. Because I have not been able to push a whole lot. And there it goes. Okay, that is the card. I you can make a pocket in here. You can actually make these to open if you want to. I didn't think about that actually till now, but this is one of the reasons why this was 1/4, so it kind of like helps it hold it, and it's not like tight. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring the front spots, the pieces. So I did color the layers of beauty, and I used the same colors, guys. So this is cloud cover and the combo, and let's go little by little. So I use the cloud cover combo for this one, but I have to tell you that I use this is a Copic because I just want it to be wider towards the edges, and with cloud cover, no matter how much I tried, it was still very dark. And this is BG70, which is kind of in the same color combo as you can tell in here. It does look fairly familiar. And then for let me move this. I have a mess in here. For the leaves, trying to imitate, the panel, I used the Misty Moonlight combo and the Light Secrecy. So Light Secrecy and the Misty Moonlight combo. And then, and I know if you've been here before, we've talked of what I use extra to make these work as best as I can. Guys, this is so messy. Sometimes it gets really, really messy. So let me remove this. Close this for 1 minute. There we go. So here we go. Let me bring this back up here again. For the flowers, I used a combination of sorry guys, of two Prismacolors. Again, if you've been to my coloring classes, I use colors to kind of like help push and pull colors, so kind of work on those shadows, or make sure that an area looks more bright or brighter. And so for this one, I use two colors. And by the way, one of the beautiful things of Copics, guys, is that you can buy them separately. So there's a few places where you can buy them on their own. And for these, I use, let's see, this is called Slate Gray, and this one is called Jade Green. And I just used them very, very softly, but I used them. And then I don't know if you can tell, some of the areas have a little bit more blue. So for that one, I use our navy blue, our Night of Navy. I keep saying navy blue. Our Night of Navy color, just to help a little bit to kind of create. Let me go back in here so you can see, kind of create those bluish colors in the flowers. I mean, the flowers are much wider than what I was able to achieve, but I am pretty pleased with it. And now for the leaves, I just use again the same stuff, guys. Really, those blends that I mentioned, but I also use a lot of white around, so to help me kind of define again the pop-up colors. So I just want to give you kind of like a run around what I use. There's a couple of pieces where I used boho blue, but it was too light, so I went back with just the darker colors to really kind of simulate the best we can with that. I mean, obviously, when you see this paper, let me put this one. The Secret Sea is very dark, but they can play just with the lights of the colors, right? I guess adding more water or adding a little bit of white, but it's the same color. In the end, it stays in the same tone, and it looks pretty dark. When I add the Misty Moonlight, it kind of takes it to a little bit of another tone, but I am still happy with it. So, you know, that I think that that's where we're going to put our friend. And so this is going to close here, and then I did colored another one, and this one we're going to put right there, just kind of like a top decoration, kind of to balance things. And we're going to bring the You're in My Prayers probably somewhere along here. And this is going to be like that. So I think that's how the card is going to end up looking. Let's go ahead and add our pieces. It's very hard to do this. Thank you, Kiwi. I appreciate that. Okay, come on. You can do it. I think it's almost out of glue. That's part of the problem in here. So I'm going to add glue in here, as you know, all around. There's some pieces that we're going to have to cut. Unfortunately, that does not make me very happy because after all that coloring, right? But let's go ahead and cut that right now. And see, there's quite a bit of it. I almost feel very concerned about cutting this, to be fully honest. I think I'm going to move these up here and just cut a tiny piece in here, because I was a little bit concerned. It's harder to cut it this way. So, ugh. Guys, I'm suffering here. In case you didn't know, I'm suffering here. Okay. There we go. I was suffering. And so we're going to put this one a little bit here towards the bottom, actually. I think I just don't want to cover much of that flower because they're so beautiful. Honestly, they look so beautiful. But I think that there is a good spot. Maybe like that. I like to put things on top of it. I don't know why. Let's see. Yeah, I think that would look good. And let's go ahead and bring glue again. And bring this in here. Maybe more like that. That's what I was thinking. A little bit more. So you can actually see the sentiment. A little bit more. Okay. Let me bring the glue and add glue to all the other pieces so they are well glued against it, against the paper. Let me turn this back in here. I'm adding just quite a bit of glue, so it's all well glued. Okay, sorry guys, I just realized the time. I'm always behind nowadays. And the last piece that I'm going to cut is this one, and honestly guys, I am just going to crop a piece and put it straight, right? So this is how I want it. Yeah, just like that. And just keep thinking. Let me see, guys. Do I want this all like that? What you guys think? Full, or do I cut it? Just think about that. No, I think it needs to go like this. I don't think I'm going to cut this one, guys. I'm actually going to keep it complete. Oops. and it finally gave up on me. I honestly think now that it's just kind of running out of glue. Today it is. Come on. And we lost it, guys. So sad. Okay, Rochelle says full. So Rochelle and I are on the same wavelength. And that one will go like that. Okay. And that's the card. Let's bring, so I did get some of the new, I wish they didn't hide from me. Every so often they do. Okay, here they go. And so we have, these are called, goodness, 2025, 2027 flat pearls. And I think I'm gonna go with the dark one. So let me close this, guys, because now I'm making a mess. Simply put, I'm making a mess. Thank you. So we're all on the same wavelength. So maybe I'm gonna bring one in here towards there, and then I'm gonna bring. So I'm gonna use a few. It's not that, it's just I feel that sometimes. Okay, let me rephrase this. I realize that I have a lot of these thingies. When I say a lot, I mean really a lot, guys. And so I have decided that I have to use them. So I'm always super stingy with them, right? Like, oh my God, no, I don't want to use it because blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, no, I have to use them because I have far too many. So that's been my decision, is I'm going to use as much as I can in my cards because they just look so pretty anyways, right? And I'm using all the different colors, I mean, all the different sizes. I'm bringing one towards, I'm going to put it right here and right there. Even if it's going to be covered when you open it, it's going to work really well. Okay, let me move everything out of the way. There's the card. I think it just looks really, really beautiful. And again, then we have the paper that is the inspiration, and it just works so gorgeous, guys. So this is the first one. So here's the second one, and I use perennial lavender. I just have little pieces of it, of the paper, so I'm like, I need to use it because it's done, right? And so I kind of created this idea and used the color, the butterfly. It's a very, like, it's less busy in a way, and then but I love how this looks in the inside, right? This is from the Piggy Party, I forgot how those dies are called, but I love them because they have that little cart, and then I just made a cart full of lavenders, I guess, and just it's your day, right? And just happy birthday. Using, okay, these dies, guys, I have the name here now. I decided to remember the name. They're for the wallflower, and they are on sale too, and I just love them. But yeah, just really, really beautiful. And really purpley. My husband was having so much. Just like, I don't think I've seen that much purple, because my whole table was purple. Has a lot of purple. And then the last one I did, this is the one I made a mistake. I mean, I realized that my measurements were wrong. Is this one? This is using the B be something workshop. I love the colors of the paper. So this is, I'm gonna say, this is a copy of a Be Mine. That was the name of the set, anyways, that we used to have, and it was in reds and greens and yellows. And this one is just more muted, using the petunia pop and old olive, and just a really, really beautiful color combination. But then I came and opened, and this is where you can tell, I had to leave it at one panel because the other panel just didn't fit. So I had to, that's when I realized that these needed to be you know, lower. I think this was a 2.5 or 2 3/4. But on top of that, and I don't know if you can see it, let me show you there. So these are 1 inch, and that's why I made the other ones, they are 3/4, so they could fit no problem. So that one, so one, it moves a little bit closer here. Then these, the whole mechanism is 1/4 smaller, and that made it easier to put the other panel in here, because what happened, and hence the big be happy, um it's big, and you know, I had to like turn, like I had put it already, I didn't think, and I had to turn it over, and just scratch. It was crazy. It was not looking happy, very happy. And then that big thing from the workshop popped up, and I'm like, ah, that's gonna be great. So this is the one again. It's very cute, no matter what. It just doesn't have the two panels. And what I want to show you though is the original size, and it's not complete. I mean, this is me working on the measurements and everything, but the original size is this. It's 8.25 by 8.25. Sorry guys, this is really messy, but I just want you to see how big it is. It is great for let me pick up something. It is great for like a mini album, right? Like that will work really, really cool in a mini album. But it was just too big for a card. So I figure 6x6 would do. And there you go. Thank you, Adrian. Oh, Kiwi saying that she likes the wagon cart. I just thought it was such a great idea. I was not sure what I wanted, and I'm like, oh, I know what I want. I want like all these flowers. And actually, there is a wagon right now. I think it's on sale too. This is just an old one. I will not probably get some of that stuff that I already have something similar. Um, Again, this is really old, retired, but yeah, I think it looks really, really cute. Thank you, Adrian. You can use, obviously guys, you can use a belly band, right? Whatever works best. The belly band will work fine, or you know, add a bow in here. So add the ribbon and tie a ribbon. That will work too. I can, and as you can tell, I decided that I wanted the magnets and them closing, and it closed, you know, it just closed it perfectly. So yep. Anyways, let's see, there was something else I wanted to show you. I don't remember now. That's fine. If you have any question, guys, thank you, Kim. Yeah, they're really simple to make. Well, not simple, but compared to some of the other things we've done. If you guys have any questions at all, please send me an email, mariamariascraftingcorner.com. I would say, guys, that the post will probably be up tonight. But if it's not up tonight, it's going to be up tomorrow. All I have to do right now is take the pictures. Everything is written, like I showed you, the tutorial is written, but I do always add the finished card picture. And so, you know, I really wanted to always add it. So that's almost set up, and the post is almost set up. So I would say, you know, later tonight. Kiwi, you're so funny. Thank you, Adrian. I am so glad that you like it. I will have everything ready later tonight. I would say come on and check back here in YouTube, and you'll have the link to my blog, or you can go directly to the blog and it'll be there. Thank you, Becky, for you guys to download. Let me know if you need anything. Do remember, um, Carrie. I know, simple. I tried to take that word out of my mouth and it just doesn't. Do remember that we have buy one, get one sweet. Let me see. Buy one, get one 50% off of sweets and sweet related products. Really, really cool. So whatever you get, you will get 50% of the other one. Now, do I want to say this again, guys? Be mindful, because what's going to get the 50% is going to be the product that is cheaper. And so if you get, you know, I don't know, something that's $70 and then something else that it's $20, you're going to just get 50, like 10%. I mean, 10, yeah, 50%, 10%, $10 worth of a discount, which is not a whole lot. In my case, for example, and for those that are demonstrators, we started the pre-order for the online exclusives that are coming. I told you guys, very beautiful. So I have not paid, I have not ordered yet, but I have 2 suites of the new suites in them. They're more or less the same price. And so that is a good chunk of money that you're cutting from it. And I'm not adding anything else that's suite related. There's a few things that I wanted to get separate, and I'm not, because I want to make the most out of that discount. So be mindful when you're doing that. Just saying. Thank you guys. Okay, thank you so much for being here with me today. Let me see. Here I am. Hi. There's my email, mariamariascraftingcorner.com. Guys, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share. Oh, one thing I forgot. Remember that once we reach 5,000 subscribers, this is going to be your gift. So we'll have a little raffle. Just this is the Wildflower Celebrations, both the specialty paper and the sticker sheet. So help me sharing the video, liking, subscribing. Once we reach to the 500 by 5,000 people, we will get this in a raffle. I am gonna, guys, I know it's late. I'm gonna answer Becky. Becky's asking a question, so if you need to leave, I really appreciate you being here. But Becky is asking about the coloring class. So Becky, I have had to slow down on the coloring class. I am hoping to restart the coloring class. We had probably 8, 9 classes last year. Very, very beautiful projects we did. But I was not able to keep up with the time. It's time consuming. Classes are live, and they're like 3-hour classes, by the way. So no, so I had to stop the class. I took it off my website. I am going to restart it. I have had a few people letting me know that they want it, and I'm going to restart it. But it will have to be after my daughter's graduation. I show you guys some of the things on Facebook that I've been working on. I'm making all the centerpieces and the banner. There's a lot of things that I'm working. Hello, of course. And so all those decorations are taking a lot of time. Even if it's a Cricut that's cutting, I have to put the stuff together and so forth. And really, I have not had enough time to really focus on the classes. But that's definitely the next thing on my list is the classes. And the last thing, not the last thing, but the other thing on my list for those that are still here, and again, I'm sorry so late, it's going to be a Christmas card class. There's not a whole lot of Christmas stuff in the online exclusives. There's a couple things that I like, but not like super Christmassy. So I think I'm going to do the cards with last year products. The mini catalog will be live in September. So that's really close to Christmas. So what I am thinking is I'm going to make like a bigger Christmas card class, Christmas in July, whatever, and then probably make a smaller class for after with the newer products, because they always have something. I already saw some of the things that are coming, and they are really spectacular, guys. So but I just can't, I mean, because it would be late in the year. I think I like to have my Christmas cards pretty set up for the year. The other thing is that the Christmas card classes are always less busy cards. I mean, something like this can be a really simple card to make because it doesn't have a whole lot. Even if you just leave one panel, right? That may be, I'm talking about my bee thing. That may be one of the cards for the class. I am not sure. We'll see what we come up with. There's many beautiful things. And by the way, all that stuff from last year, Christmas related, is mostly still all available and all super cheap. Um, hey, Sharon, how are you? So I would totally recommend go ahead and check that out. I mean, if you don't have any Christmas paper, says Maria, that has like tons and tons. I know we're all paper addicts here. So, but just in case, it's all on sale. And Sharon, I'm almost done, but this is the card we made today. So you like, there we go. Nope, right there. So that was just answering Becky's question. Becky, if you send me an email, Maria at mariascraftingcorner.com, I can keep you updated for the coloring class. I will most likely start it, yeah, after graduation, guys, because, hey, kiddo's graduating, getting her master's, and I have to focus on celebrating her. So, priorities. Okay, I am so sorry when this late. At least the card was not that late. It was just a general video, but I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for being here live. Help me by sharing to your social media. That helps me a lot. And by sharing maybe with friends. Also liking and subscribing to the channel if you have not. And finally, you know, remember that when we get to that 5,000, we're going to have a little raffle, and that sounds like a lot of fun. It's a beautiful paper that we'll be getting. Let me see what else. I don't think I have anything else. God bless you. I hope you guys again have a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of your week if you're watching the replay, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Bye.